Hey, welcome back to Main Irish Angling TV. Today we're looking at sticky baits. Now, there's an awful lot of carp anglers in this country using the sticky baits and having amazing success. One guy in particular, Daniel O'Kelly, has been absolutely taking apart one of our premier carp wars on this stuff. Now, this gear has been made famous by the likes of Jim Shelley in the UK. And I have to say, sticky baits have really had an interesting journey as a company, and they've really fine-tuned their products. Now, years ago, I used a lot of their Bloodworm stuff, and I found it excellent. They did pellets, which I found fabulous, and they also did these sort of little hooker dumbbell jobbies. And it was a case of, if you couldn't get a bite, stick one of these out, and normally you did get something having a bit of an interest. So, sticky baits have been around a long, long time. They've refined their products, and finally we have a stockist here in Ireland, Main Irish Angling, who are selling them. To go through the range, they've got the Bloodworm and they've got the Krill. The Krill's sort of the new kid on the block that's doing an awful lot of business, especially on the premier carp water Lyrene in Dublin. It's absolutely doing the biz down there. And I'm just going to run through a few things that they have. Now, these are the pellets. They have two types of pellets. Now, they both have these in not only the Krill, but they also have them in the Bloodworm. These happen to be the Krill version. They have the 4mm pellets and they have the 2.3mm pellets, so real tiny. These would be great for scalding down and wrapping it around your hook bait if you've got a boilie, just to give it a boost of attraction. Number of ready-mades, they have the Bloodworm Boilies, and they also have the Krill Boilies in the shelf life version. These are 1 kilo bags. These are in 16mm. They also have them down in 12mm, and I have to say the 12mm are perfect if you're fishing for smaller carp on commercial waters. They also have a range of pop-ups in different sizes. These are the 16mm. They also have them in 12mm. And we also have Krill Wafters. The Wafters are they're like a semi-buoyant, but they won't lift the hook off the bottom. So if you want to critically balance a bait, you can fiddle around with these. The Wafters are real handy. The Dumbbells are exactly what they are. They're a small little dumbbell hooker that you can put on. These are the ones that I've been using for a number of years and have done very well on. Now, a lot of people like to use glugs. They do a 200ml bottle of glug in the Krill and also in the Bloodworm. And also they do this liquid called Pure Krill Liquid. It's a 1 litre tub, and this stuff, I'm not going to lie to you, is absolutely manky in smell. And you know, use with caution, but like all things that smell like this, it's an out and outstanding carp catching machine. So that's just a look at some of the range of the Krill. They also have the matching sort of range in the Bloodworm. They are expanding the sticky baits. This is the initial order that's come in from sticky baits. They've got more orders going in all the time. If you're interested in any of the sticky range and they don't have it actually in stock, if you let them know in advance, they will then order it in for you straight from the company. So all you have to do is have a look at the Sticky Baits website, which is www.stickybaits.com. Check their products, look at the code, ring in the code to Main Irish Angling, and they'll make the phone call to them, order it in for you. White chocolate pop-ups. These are in both 16 and 12mm. Great winter flavour, great winter bait, nice and visual. Again, if you're looking for a quick bite on a commercial, they're going to help you no end. As I said, the range is expanding all the time. Sticky baits have a huge range, and this is only a small part of it. But I can guarantee you, if you do go ahead and use it, you're going to get some very, very good results. This stuff is very, very good.
There we go. Mid-20 from Lyrene Fishery on sticky baits, krill with paste around the hook bait and just a few dotted around it. Happy days.
Okay, about an hour ago it was a little bit darker, and I got a nice little drop back on one of my rods, fishing at a range of about, I would say, 70-80 yards, and fishing one of the sticky bait pop-ups about 1.5 inches off the deck. There is a light scattering of weed on the bottom, so the pop-ups just sit nicely above it. What I did was I gave the pop-up a dip. Gone! Gone! Just lost a fish. Felt like a really decent one. Hook pulled. Happens. But about an hour ago, just as it was getting light, it wasn't quite light, I had a small drop back on one of my rods, fishing a sticky bait krill pop-up. And as soon as I hit it, I knew it wasn't quite right. Felt quite small. I thought it was one of the small carp. Turned out to be a tench. Now, this one is 5 pound 14 ounces. What's impressive about it is the actual length of it. Now, this is a female, and during spawning time, I reckon this would have been a massive fish. Like, I'm talking about at least a 7, and you'll see what I mean when you see the length of her. Well, that's her there. She's ultra long, massive fish. Let's see if I can get a bit closer for you so you can actually see how long she is. But she really is a cracker. So, as I said, during spawning time, I reckon this fish would have gone at least 7. She's just got so much length, and there's still eggs coming out of her as we speak, which is unusual. Because normally around now they're well done, but there's still, as I say, look, that's all eggs there. So she still has a little bit of spawn left in her. But the thing is, I've always worked out, if the tench like your rig and they like your bait, then I tell you what, the carp are going to love it, because tench can be a little bit more finicky and a little bit harder to control. But yeah, I'm going to get this one back for you now, and we'll see what else happens. So I'm using a very simple system. I'm using my Avid pin down. That's the leader. It's about 12 inches long. It's weighted so that it'll sink. Weighted as in there's no lead core in it, but it's got that braided material that's dense and will take on the water very quickly, make it sink. Just above that, I have my Tasca flying back lead, which is on my loop-to-loop system. And above that loop knot, which as you can see is quite a long, it's about nearly 12 inches again, I have another Tasca flying back lead, which is going to shoot up the line as it hits the surface of the water. Below that, I'm fishing with a 3 ounce lead that's on, well, it's actually a 4 ounce lead, which is on a Corda quick release clip. I then have about 10 inches long in the rig. It's Croyston snakebite in silked black. I have a pop up here which is sitting about so much above the water, or above the deck should I say, on a multi-rig system. Very easy to tie, very effective, and good hooking. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to take a nugget of foam. This is the dissolvable foam, and I'm going to take the hook and I'm going to just put this onto the hook like so. I'm going to make sure the pop-up is on the other side of the foam, and then I'm going to lick both sides of it and make sure that the hook bait is well and truly buried, or the hook point should I say is well and truly buried. And that nugget of foam is what's it going to do before it dissolves. It's just going to keep the hook and the bait out of the debris. There's a bit of weed out there, and the next thing I'm going to do before I cast out is I'm going to take the old Sticky Baits krill liquid. And this is really salty. I accidentally got some on my lips there the other day, and yeah, don't ask. And it's very salty, and I actually think that's why the carp like it. They like that salty flavour. So we're going to whack this out and hopefully put it in the right spot. Perfect. Right, that's her organised. Anytime you get a fish loss, it's a real, you nearly feel like packing up. What happened there was I was actually filming a little segment of the tench I caught, and while I was filming, it belted off. The rod just zipped away. A couple of bleeps and then zip, one toner. Hit it, and the fish hit the surface, big fish, and it started to kite to my left, and just hook pulled. It was only on for 30-40 seconds, maybe a bit more, but it felt like a solid fish. I knew the way it was moving, it was pushing water. I knew it was a solid fish, but it's fishing, isn't it, you know? I've been quite unlucky. This is my 6th trip out and I've not had a carp. Now, all right, granted, I only ever fish real sort of overnighters. I did a 2-nighter there, or a 2-dayer, should I say, about 2 weeks ago, and that's my longest session this year so far. But yeah, it's the lake's been hard for everyone at the moment. Certain people are falling in on the fish and catching really, really well. I mean, fish are coming out, but for the majority of us, it is blankety blankville, and it's soul destroying. But look, the main thing is you keep cracking on, keep going, and you just do your very best. So, piece of advice: check out the sticky baits. It's well worth a look. It's a really, really well made bait. Ready-mades are really good. The pop-ups are superb. They're not too buoyant, and all in all, first class. You can check out the extensive sticky baits range at mainirishangling.com.